Cosplay, which you can probably already tell, is dressing up as a certain character from any movie, TV show, anime, video game, or whatever your heart desires, and going to places, for example, anime conventions, to share your work and spend time with people like you. And the very first cosplay that I have ever made was of this character called Poland from an anime called Hetalia, which shows countries as personifications and shows history through their lives. And only after getting used to cosplaying a couple of times, I remade the character, and this is how it looks now. There is obviously a lot of work that I can improve on, and this is definitely not the last costume that I will be making. And to start off, I would like to share with you a little story of my very first anime convention. So that day I woke up at 6, or should I say I got out of bed at 6, as I haven't slept the previous night almost at all. Still having the butterflies in my stomach, I started dressing up, putting on my wig, doing my makeup, my contact lenses. And then the fears came back to me. What if people don't like my costume? What if people see something wrong with it because I messed up the colors or the wig is not perfect? At this point, my experience became something more of a stress than an enjoyment. But I decided to ignore it and try to enjoy the day. So I went downstairs in our house in Poland and told my mom that I was ready to go. My mom could obviously tell that something was wrong because of how always open and laughing and happy I was, but she decided not to ask. We got into the car, and my hands were trembling so much that the only thing I was capable of doing was changing the radio stations for half an hour. When we got there, I saw the convention center right in front of me, only a couple of meters away. There were people going there despite the very early hour. I kissed my mom goodbye, I got out of the car, and I started walking towards the center. And then suddenly, something just forced me to stop. I wasn't able to walk, I wasn't able to think, I was just standing there. I felt that every single person that was passing by was looking at me. And they weren't looking at me because they liked my costume or they recognized the character, but they were looking at me because something was wrong. So I wasn't able to do anything, and I got really, really scared when suddenly my phone rang. I picked it up just to realize that it was my mom. She told me that she's still in the car a couple of meters away and that she can see what's happening. And she told me that today is my day, that I have worked on this costume for months and months, and I should not let anyone say that it looks wrong or something is wrong, because today is my day, and no one can stop me from having fun. I really, really thanked her because I don't think that I would be able to go actually attend that convention without her words. And I started walking towards the con center once more. And when I got there, a completely new world opened in front of me, something that I have never seen before in real life. There were people running around in costumes from animes that I knew, from video games that my friends used to play. They were buying things, eating food, making new friends. Some just met a couple of random people that shared the same interests, and now we're sitting in the middle of the con room just to make friends and talk about their favorite animes. The atmosphere was so friendly and so different from whatever I have ever seen before that my stress completely eliminated itself right away. I started walking more confident and decided to get some food because I was really hungry, and that was the moment where I realized that I'm able to pick a fork up without having it fall into the ground once more. And I sat at the only empty table, looking at the fact that there were 30,000 people at that convention that day. And I started eating. And there was a group of people. I could tell that some of them knew each other from before, and others just met each other. And they asked if they could sit with me, as those were the only empty seats in the whole room. I said, of course, wanting to make friends, because a lot of my friends in Poland don't even know what anime is. So they sat down, and after a while, we started talking. We started talking about anime, video games, about cosplay, and we found out that we have a lot in common. We started taking pictures, doing skits with our characters, and after a while, we became real good friends. And even though I live abroad, I still talk to them from time to time when I need help with picking out a wig or the color materials for my next cosplay. Cosplay helped me out a lot, and the breakfast experience was the moment I realized how much my perception of the world changed just because I was in a costume. I automatically took on the personality of the character. I became that character. I walked like them, talked like them, did the things that they would do, counting, eating the foods that they would, which I usually don't eat. And because in cosplay, it is not about your eye color, your hair color, your body type. As for the first one, I thought it was. That's why for my first character, I chose a character with green eyes. But as you can see, it's not a problem anymore. And it is actually about the positivity and the time you're willing to put into a cosplay that matters in the long run. If you're proud of something, then why would you stop yourself from doing it just because you're different from people around you, just because people don't understand you? Cosplay helped my creativity a lot. Whether it was sewing bows for our first Sailor Moon cosplay last year for Halloween for a contest, which we actually won with my friends, or it was looking for things that Elle from Death Note would wear, I was being much more creative than I could have ever imagined. I also managed to put this creativity into my schoolwork, trying to find new ways of solving problems and answering questions. I also managed to sign up for a Maker Time class in our school, which pretty much allows you to make any project you want, just if you have the proposal and the list of materials needed and the estimated time that you would like to make it in. Here you can see me doing one of the props for our Sailor Moon group cosplay. Cosplay also helped me with problem solving. It takes a lot of effort to work on a budget, as a lot of cosplayers do not have that much money to buy cosplays online from Japan, which take 2 months to ship, not knowing the size because the Japanese and Chinese size are completely different from American and European. A lot of cosplayers make their cosplays from scratch, whether it is choosing out materials or buying wigs or styling wigs themselves. They need to work on a budget. And this may involve gender bending a character or drawing out alternative ways that the character could possibly dress if they were in a different universe, for example. This problem solving also helped me out a lot in school. I realized that I became much more open to suggestions, and I became much more open to finding new ways to answer problems, to solve problems that I never thought I could solve before, in areas especially math and science, which were never my best subjects in school. It makes me really, really happy to see people run to me at conventions just because they recognize the character or because they want to take a picture with me. And I too love taking pictures with cosplayers, whether it is a character that I admire or it is a cosplayer that I know from the internet. I just want to tell them to keep going, because what they are doing is a form of art. And if this is what they love to do, and mind, some of these people have been doing it for years and years and it has become their part-time jobs. They go to conventions all around the world, selling pictures of themselves in cosplays. And I really feel that this is something that people need to appreciate more, because it is really a form of art. And, sorry. And if they are really, really proud of what they're doing, I think this is the most important thing in their lives. If this is their passion, then why would they stop? So, as you can see, cosplay helped me out a lot. I am standing here doing a TED Talk dressed up as a post-apocalyptic soldier, even though if someone came up to me last year and told me that I would be running around a convention center, doing a TED Talk, in a costume, meeting new people, going to places where there's 30,000 or more people, I would have completely laughed it off and said that I would love to, but I never would have the confidence to do so. But now here I am standing in front of all of you, and I can proudly say that I am a fangirl. I write stories online, I publish them about my favorite characters, I dress up as crazy characters in my free time, and I spend hours and hours making cosplays that I only wear for a couple of hours. And you might be asking yourself, why? Why would I do it? Why would anyone do it? And everyone has a different answer to this. Some people just don't feel good when they are themselves. Some people really, really want to be a different character, even if it is for a couple of hours. They just become more social people. They open up, make friends, which is very, very hard for some of them. Others, as I said, is their job, and they have been doing it for years and years. And sometimes they just want to bring their character to life because they admire that character, or they want to put a smile on someone's face just to make their day a little bit better. And if that is what they're happy to do, and that is what they're willing to spend their time on, I think this is amazing. And if someone still thinks that cosplay or costume making is a very bad hobby, I would just like to say that it is not the profit or the benefit that matter in the long run. It is also the satisfaction and self-confidence that is the most important part, and that is what you will look back when you're in the future. And if I am proud of making cosplays from the easiest ones just when I was starting, all the way to the harder ones, I think I have a worthwhile hobby. And this is why I cosplay. Thank you.